Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Law, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real to Real 360. K-Wise.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real to Real 360 show. Let's get it in.
We do the knowledge of wisdom so you can understand. Real to Real 360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it all was taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to born. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Peace.
Peace and blessings. What's good, party people? Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation, and to all the gods and earths, one love, and to all the human families on the planet Earth, I bid you peace. Right now, we're going to jump right off in the jump off right here on the Real to Real 360. This episode will be that going down as a classic moment in time. Why? Because we got some good people here in the building. Not just talking about myself, because I'm not like that. I wouldn't be who I was if it wasn't for my younger brother right here. We wouldn't do it because I can't have a real without another real. You understand what I'm saying? So sit back, relax, get your water, get your sip, get your cup up, whatever you got to do, because we about to have fun up in the building. I got to bring on my co-host, my brother with the most. You know, I'm still waiting on my 5%, but I ain't going to say nothing. I'm just let it ride. Ladies and gentlemen, bring on my brother, Joshua Allah, a.k.a. Mr. PhD himself. Peace, almighty.
Peace, 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 peace.
Yeah, what's good?
You know, everything is good. First and foremost, I want to tell everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for supporting Real to Real 360 like y'all have been. Also, too, remember to like and subscribe to YouTube page, share, tell a friend that we bringing you the heat all the time. And we always have some great artists when it comes down to, you know what I'm saying, these interviews. A lot of these interviews are very, very educational. You learn history, you know what I'm saying, whether it's in music, whether it's in community activism, whether it's mental health, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, in all different realms. That's why we call it 360. Today, we have, you know what I'm saying, one of the great producers coming out of the South who's worked with individuals like Zero, Big Mike, Slim Thug, you know what I'm saying, Bone, Willie D. It's just a bunch of individuals, like a plethora. And then on top of that, now he's stepping into Southern Soul where he's working with different artists and he's an artist himself. So right now, I want to take the time out to bring on the world-renowned Ciddy Boi.
Ciddy Boi P's in the building.
How y'all doing?
Building.
All right, what's going
Hey, I
on?
love that intro.
Appreciate it.
I love that intro, man. That intro is deep. It make you sit back and say, let me ready. Let me get ready. Yeah. So yeah. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. How y'all doing out there?
Man, we good, man. We good. You know, we was talking behind the scenes about, you know what I'm saying, some of the works that you've done and the people that you worked with and the people that you know what I'm saying, you know personally. But maybe some of the individuals who are watching, this is the first time they actually getting a chance to really see Ciddy Boi, because a lot of times you are behind the board. So could you introduce yourself, give them like a little brief synopsis of who and what you are and who you worked with and how long you've been in the business?
All right, how you doing? Okay, so I went through a name change, first of all. A lot of, even some people in Houston just not grabbing on to the Ciddy Boi P. But for some reason, it's sticking. I actually went by a name in Houston, Track House Music, but a lot of people caught on to that name because it's, you know, popular with the kids. And I had to separate myself, so I changed my name to Ciddy Boi P. For no, it wasn't that Track House wasn't doing the house. Got a great catalog. You know what I'm saying? The catalog in Track House is ridiculous. So where I'm from Houston, Texas. born and raised out in New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans, Houston hybrid, but people from New Orleans, but I'm one born in Houston. So me and my little sister one born in Houston. Been a producer all my life. I've been in the military. I got the military in 92 and started my music career in 93, 94. And I've been doing music since then. Never had another job, never had another back step. Everything was music. And my backup plan was music, and my forward plan was music. And I made a lot of moves, a lot of mistakes, and I definitely can learn some things because I done made a lot of mistakes for a lot of people out there already. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy. I'm not in a bad way because I don't do drugs. I just started drinking I'm 50. I just made 55. So I'm 55 and I just started drinking like last year. So I just started drinking like last year. I haven't, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, other than that, I don't work with everybody in Houston that came across. That's from Houston and out of Houston. The only person I haven't worked with out of Houston is Lizzo and Travis Scott. I haven't worked with them too, but I'm not even sure if Travis Scott is actually from Houston. From everybody I should know, I should have ran across that food at least once. Probably did. I just didn't know what it was at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I go.
Now,
so,
now we're coming out of Houston. We know that Chop and Screw is like the foundation out there. Like everybody's rocking Chop and Screw.
Right.
Did you ever do any Chop and Screw music?
This is the weirdest thing. You asked me the question that nobody never asked me. I don't listen to Chop and Screw. Not that I don't like it. Nah. Just for that. And I'm from Houston. I'm not a screwhead. They call them screwheads down here. But I did just recently bought a little jump drive with some Chop and Screw on it, and that R. Kelly Chop and Screw go hard. I do like that R. Kelly's Chop and Screw, it do go hard, but I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna be surprised who I was listening to back when they was going on. And I did a lot of music for Screw. I did a lot of music from guys. But I was listening to Grave Diggers. I was listening to Wu-Tang. I was listening to West Coast rappers. I was listening to the East Coast really influenced us. So I got super influenced. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and tell you I grew up listening to Screw. I didn't. I didn't. If you listen to, I did music with Screw and SUC and SPC and all the groups out there, but I didn't personally listen to it. Okay. So that's kind of really the first question I get. I'm like, I never liked that. Not really answering. I never did listen to it. But is it heavy in the streets? Yes.
Absolutely.
On a date, a chick put on some Screw music with you and jam some Screw, and you be like, yes.
Shout out to the originator, DJ Screw, may forever rest.
Definitely.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect to my city. I didn't grow up listening to that. To be short and to kind of put an understanding to that, I thought I was going to be a jazz musician. I probably look like a jazz musician now. I thought I was going to be a jazz musician before I was going to be anything else. It was, believe it or not, Run DMC that made me, when they came out with that, what's that song they had? Boy, that song used to pump in the cars so hard down here.
MCs.
Rock
Friend of mine.
Rockbox was
MC Ross.
Yeah. Suck MCs.
So,
it's like that.
Suck MCs 2 years ago. The friend of mine asked me to say, man, look here. Look, I was in the jazz, bro. I was playing a saxophone, jazz band, jazz out. I didn't know nothing about no hip hop. I heard that changed my life. I had to reevaluate my stint. Was I going to be a jazz player, be like the rest of these old niggas with old suits on, or was I going to do something new? And I just didn't. I'm not a follower, so I started listening to Dale, the Funky Homo Sapien, and they were using jazz loops. I listened to Tribe Called Quest. They were using loops, and I know where to find all those loops at. Before they had a place to go look at it on the internet, I could tell you where the loop comes from. Heavy D and the Boys had an album. They use Miles Davis in a loop, and I was like, how they using this and making beats? And it was throwing me off because I was learning Miles Davis songs as a curriculum. Like I had to learn Miles Davis and Stanley Turrentine. That was part of my listening job. And then when I'm hearing it, I'm listening to Tribe Called Quest take a loop from, Bobby Caldwell and flipping it. I'm like, wait a minute, how did he do that? It just fucked me up. So that's my introduction to hip hop back then. You know what I'm saying? And they were taking loops from up north. They would take a jazz loop it, put it on some beats, and then you like, damn, wait a minute, they playing this and they rapping over it. You know what I'm saying? So I went to he was like, yo, can I do that? He was like, man, that's not music. I was like, okay, shit. But that Sucking Seeds changed my life. That's crazy because I wonder why that changed my life so much. And I'm way down here in Houston, Texas. I never understood how did I even let that influence me so much. But we wasn't hearing much stuff down here. We only had a radio 1 hour a day, black radio. And they were playing Wind and Fire, they play some, and then they'll go back to playing Phil Collins, and they'll play Robert Plant. They'll play some, all those, that good music back in the days. But they only had black radio down here. I'm older than black radio in Houston, Texas, today.
Wow. So
that kind of lets you know how we got cut off. We wasn't in the creative stage of making music back then. So, when Screwman was doing it wasn't, when they started, it just sounded like they was messing up the music to me. But that was something else I had to get used to. That I had to get used to that because then you have to be in the drugs. It was really a drug culture.
Yeah.
You didn't have to be on drugs, but most people was on drugs and listened to the music. And then
when I found out about that, I was in the Army, and they was telling me, because I was like, what is that? Because it didn't. I was like, yo, what in the world are they doing? Because I'm like, it sound like
like when you put your hand on the 45.
You're slowing it down.
Slowing it down.
Remember, you used to do that with back in the days. There was a knob where you could speed it up and slow it down.
78, 45, and I think it was a 60 at 58 or something like that.
33 and stuff like that.
Right.
Reason why I asked because I know that Houston is known for chopped and screw. You know what I mean?
We're known for it.
When you speak about Houston, the first thing come out is, chopped and screw. But then you have different artists. The first thing come out is Fifth Ward.
About Fifth Ward. I was born in Fifth Ward. Everybody want to know about Fifth Ward and then Screw. That's pretty much that's like our legacy. That's like I say legacy, but can I say something that's real? Most of the hit records that you hear on the radio that came from the 90s were from producers from the South. They were from Houston. A lot of the producers came from Houston that was making that music out there. Brian Cox, he's from Houston. You know what I'm saying? Pussy Don't Fail Me Now, that's from Houston. The guy who made that beat, he's from Houston. And the girl that's singing on that song is from Houston. They're my friends. You know what I'm saying? Right. And shit, we made I did records with Kanye West. I didn't even know who Kanye West was until he blew up. You know what I'm saying? They was coming here to get the beats, and then they just stopped. And it didn't just stop. It just all of a sudden everybody started running to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We did. Y'all heard this rapper named Bahamadia?
Yeah, of course.
Y'all don't know her first album was done here in Houston.
Oh wow.
Her album was done here in Houston. Yeah, that's how I go about her first album. And DJ Premier, who actually shaped the East Coast on beats, is from Houston.
He's from Houston.
Right. He's from Houston. Yeah, I knew that.
And another person who changed the West Coast is from Dallas. His name is DOC. And I'm trying to go, but he changed the way they do everything on the West Coast. Believe it or not, DOC is very instrumental on the West Coast.
Oh yeah,
music. He's very instrumental. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Texas, a lot of stuff come out of Texas. It's just we don't really give it that love like that because we end up another thing come out of Houston is we're individuals, and too many individuals don't make up we don't make a clan down here. Everybody is for themselves.
Right.
Everybody is just, and it's kind of sad, but it is what it is.
Did you have any input or in touch with? I think it was Grand Hustle.
Grand Hustle. T.I. That's out of Atlanta.
That's out of Atlanta.
But they had a circulation. They was going for. They had the South, and they included.
They had the whole.
Thug was on there, and he had a lot of Houston cats on there too. That's why I was asking if you had.
Yeah, well, I worked with all those cats, and we definitely gave those cats the sound to go out and to go back to all that Houston shit. They was making noise with. Well, one thing is the Master P syndrome was already in Houston. When I say that, I mean the get out and get it yourself, because we ain't never had, and still to this day, and it's 2022, there's never been a record label in Houston that we can walk to the doors of and walk straight in. We ain't never had that. Never, ever, ever. So we lack business and we lack a lot of stuff down here. But so when people wanted to do it, mostly it was our drug dealers that wanted to put out music. Everybody who wanted to do music was a former drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? And they had the money. So to look good, to make it look good, to look it fly, it was a drug dealer. So we went with that. You know what I'm saying? Every time the record label popped up, it was Drug House Records, Crack Farm Records. It was all this, you know what I'm saying? It was all those record labels out there, but they were all ran by dope dealers because we never had the chance to go to New York and just go to Manhattan, walk into whatever record labels up there right now. We didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't just we had Jay Prince.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that you can only say Jay Prince. And when you say Houston, you just say Jay Prince. But when you say New York, it's name a bunch of drug dealers from New York that you got Fat Cat, you got Supreme Team. Yeah. You see how y'all got a whole conglomerate, and then you get to Houston, you just say Jay Prince. But name one millionaire that he made. He never made another millionaire. Not none of his rappers are a millionaire. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
So we in the South already.
He had some dealing with Drake. His son was able to pull Drake in.
He didn't even like Drake. Yeah, know the story. He didn't like Drake. He didn't like Drake. Didn't even believe in Drake. He told his son, "I'm gonna give you the power to go talk to whoever you want. You go see if it works. If it work, it work." And Drake got on like that. And as Drake now, his son have to chase down Drake for some money. But that's another story. I don't know the whole thing, but I know something like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. It went down like that. You know what I'm saying? That's Prince Jr. He works at the studio, Box B Studios. He came over there. So Megan Thee Stallion the same way. She came to the studio. She was working out the studio, and I ain't gonna lie to you, me and my partner was listening to her rap. We was like, this ain't gonna make it. And she doing the same thing. She made it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people from a lot of good talent, and I think for Houston, we don't have a lot of influx of talent coming out of Houston. But when our talent do hit, it's a stay power that we have. So look at Lizzo. Lizzo hit and she's still on from Houston. Megan Thee Stallion, she damn near one of the best rappers out there now, doing the same. You know what I'm saying? And she's from. And then let's go all the way back to Beyonce. But who before Beyonce is H-Town.
Right.
One of the biggest R&B groups, period, in the game to this day. One of the biggest R&B groups, and they still, you know what I'm saying? I work with them too, so they still can go and they getting their paper right now. They never stop working. They still on beat with it. Every act that come out of Houston is a great big act. It's not a small disappear in a few years act. They be here for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
The longevity. At one point in time, they did have some cohesiveness when it was Mike Jones, Slim Thug, Paul Wall. I think they they ran together or they worked together a lot, and it showed some it showed the strength in Houston.
Well, from the outside looking in, yes, it looked. If you're from Staten Island or South Carolina looking in, it looked like we had this thing going. But where are they today? They don't. Nobody deal with it. See, what I notice about what I'm trying, I guess I'm going to go ahead and put this out there because I have a problem with this in my city. You look at DMX and you look at Jay-Z, and I'm not trying to compare cities. They beat a lot, but they got their business done. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas when somebody beefs down here in Houston, the whole thing falls apart. It ain't no more. It's done. And from the day the shit starts, it's over with. It ain't nothing coming out of that no more. So everybody's individually trying to make it, and then as you see, they fizzle out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody breaks up and then it fizzle out. It ain't because we got used to Chamillionaire and Paul Wall and Mac Jones being together, but since they went their own ways, that fire ain't there no more. They don't understand the energy works together. It's not one person carry off all the energy.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Not even for Scarface. It's the energy ain't around him. When it ain't right, he's gonna fizzle out.
Right.
So I've been wanting to kind of get to that because where the show came on, I can't hold nothing back now because that intro y'all gave me was dope. That intro that y'all got is about knowledge. If you really want to know the truth, then let me know. I can't sit back here and hold, let the cat keep my tongue and try to say something. I've been producing in Houston for over 20. My daughter's 25. I've been doing it before she was born. So over 28 years, 27 years. And there's a lot of producers I can bring to your show that say the same thing. But the problem is we never had a cohesiveness that really, like, let's build on this. Like, y'all have a term out there in New York called building.
Right.
Like, let's build. Let's make something happen. We don't have that down here. That's what's happening when you're below the Bible Belt. And we're kind of still got a slave mentality. I got mine, you got to get yours, and you ain't got enough to get with me. So it all breaks down, and then nobody knows how to. Okay, I'm gonna take these 5 producers who've been producing SUC and screwed up shit for the last 5-10 years. We're gonna make a company and build that company so everybody come that needs to get that sound. Here they go. You know what I'm saying? That never happened. Wow. Slim Thug can get online and show an $18,000 watch and get 18,000 views. But guess what? He never started a production company. He's doing houses and building houses and acres home. I'm not saying he ain't never did no business, but I'm saying for the music that we so individualized. It's like we like down here like ants. We don't know together we have one big number, but as long as we, them grasshoppers come, we scared them grasshoppers like motherfuckers. We don't know we outnumber them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Kind of mentality. And nobody took the time out to really foster and take care of what was making you money. Everybody just thought it was the rap. So I'm gonna go over here and get with Pharrell and get on the rap beat, but Pharrell don't have our sound, and we don't fuck with that. We fuck with what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. We fuck with what we do. You know what I'm saying? And like Zero never had. He probably is not as big in your city, but Zero got Texas locked down, and it's a bunch of motherfuckers right here in Texas. From here to El Paso, San Antonio, Dallas, Lubbock, and all that. You really ain't got to leave Houston. You ain't really got to leave Texas to get no money. But they don't take that and turn it into the conglomerate. They just do. They still the mom and pop phrase. We not, and the other cities are in the conglomerate stage. And I think that needs to be said. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they didn't conglomerate stage. Look at New Orleans versus Houston. New Orleans got more of a conglomerate than Houston do. And then Miami popped out of nowhere. They got more of a conglomerate than Houston do. And now Tennessee done popped up and came out with more of a conglomerate than we do. And it's kind of like, I'm speaking from all this gray hair ain't for nothing.
Right.
I'm speaking from. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I noticed that now this is just my take on it. When Flip was popping, and he said he was the king of the South. I think that's the issue him and T.I. had or whatever, and then some other stuff. But he was definitely pushing Houston. You know what I mean? And when the situation went down, I think some individuals turned their back on him or whatever the case may be, or however it went. And I think that showed that there was no cohesiveness because you just can't go to an area, especially like we talk about the height of the East Coast, West Coast situation.
Yeah.
Just come to New York or we couldn't just go to Cali talking that East Coast mess or West Coast mess being an issue. And when T.I. went out to Houston, he, you know what I'm saying, he got a pass, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever he did. And that kind of like
we give celebrities pass. We give the celebrities passes out here. You know what I'm saying? We do. We like celebrities. This is a celebrity city. We like celebrities. We give them a pass. Oh, that's T.I. He cool with everybody wants to be cool with the outsider. Nobody wants to be cool with the insider. You feel what I'm saying? And for that to happen and nobody stood behind them, let's take it even farther than that. What about let's take it to the gospel side. What about Kim Burrell? She came out and said nothing but the truth. She from Houston. She works, she know me. And she ain't said nothing but the truth. But nobody in Houston, all these money-making Texas, T.D. Jackson's from Dallas, right up the street. We got a bunch of big time preachers. None of them stood behind them. None of them. They didn't stand behind on something that's in the Bible. If you just want to go by the Bible, I have a problem with going word for word by the Bible. But if you wanted to go by the Bible, what she said wasn't nothing wrong. What they did to her, they outcasted her. Period. And that's the church for you. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with T.I. too, just double back on that right quick. T.I. was saying he the king of the South. Really, he wasn't South enough to be king of the South. You ain't South enough. Yes, he wasn't South enough to be king of the South. And to be the king, and Flip wasn't the king of the South to be per se. He said he was, but really the king of the South down here is Lil Kiki. I never heard of him, huh?
No, I heard of Lil Kiki. I was going to ask you about Lil Kiki.
No, Lil Kiki probably is the king because he's the last man standing, and still he turned his stuff into a business. Now he's doing merch. He's doing, his songs. He got a steady catalog coming out. He's steady working. He's doing things. He's still working like back in the day. He's still working, even if he ain't got to leave Houston, but he's still working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that would be the king of the South to me if you still working.
Okay.
We don't really consider Atlanta South. I don't know why. Why that's a big name, but they're not South to us. You don't really get South till you get to I-10.
Yes, sir.
You can't say you from the South unless you're on I-10. That's the South that you gonna get. So you know what I'm saying? When you get up to on 20, you're not up South no more. You up north.
You up north.
Yeah, 20 is north.
Yeah.
10 is south. Ain't nothing past 10. You ain't gonna do nothing but hit the water from 10 down here. So I couldn't understand that, because if you go from Houston 10 all the way over to Florida, it gets south, and then Miami is south.
Yeah.
They deep south. You know what I'm saying? We can't get no deeper south than that mother. So we call that the South, and it's a whole mentality off of 10. 10 south. Any frequency you take going south is a whole different mentality. They don't talk like me. They really don't. They don't talk like me. They don't, and I mean that like in a real way. Like it's a different breed of people. From 10 going to that water, it's a different breed of people, bro. I can say that. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was just out of Houston. No, that's all the way down 10. You go down 10, stop in Pensacola, it's a different place. Why y'all so? And you go down to Tampa or to Jacksonville, shit,
Right.
you gonna get like all of us are the same people. All they talk the same, eat the same food, they do the same. They all buy Jordans. I don't know. It's a mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
It's crazy, bro.
now being in the South, we know that there's like a couple of genres of music, and Southern soul and blues being one or two of them.
Yeah.
What was your introduction that made you say, I want to work with Southern soul artists?
True story. Got on the road with an artist named Mr. Live. I don't know if y'all heard of him.
Okay.
If you haven't heard him, look him up. His name Mr. Live. And he was going back and forth to shows out, and he would be like on the bus. He was getting there any way he can. And I was like, why you doing it like that? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as me as an artist coming from the industry, we always have to show up a certain kind of way or don't show up at all. You know what I'm saying? Like when you show up, you want to be in the car, you want to have the nice shoot. You want to jump out and make sure people feel like that's the person I came to see. Right. And I'm not saying he did that wrong. I'm just saying, well, let me jump in one of these cars. I got 4 or 5 cars. So I'm like, let's jump in this Benz and run down here and let's show up right. When we show up, boom. You know what I'm saying? Because I did a lot of his music. So of course I want to be successful. And I'm trying to get behind the man. So I got behind him. And I saw that they were lacking in a lot of business areas. And so I tried to get to my man and be like, let's build on what they don't know and start. We playing in little bitty towns that you probably never heard of, like, you know, Hachi Boo Boo. I mean, you like, what? But there be people there though. Like it's a whole city of people there. You know what I'm saying? You're like, we be in Mississippi, Hachi Boo Boo, Mississippi. God damn it, but it's a bunch of people there.
Wait a minute. That's a real city?
It's Hayabusa.
Well, you know, one of them.
Hayabusa. And it's funny because I know where it's at.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you have gone to little bitty cities, and you know, like
you about to say Hayabusa. I don't know.
I only heard of Fayette, South Carolina. I never knew there was Fayette, North Carolina. There's a Fayette in Mississippi. It's a little bitty town, but it be packed. It's everybody go to this little town and it's packed. Fayette, Mississippi. Look it up. That motherfucker be packed. So, but I see that it's still like mom and pops. Like I told you, everybody past that 10, we got a different little mentality, and we comfortable with a wooden flow, or you know, hey, the flow might be straight dirt. We don't care. Just do your thing, do your jig, and let's go. And I'm like, well, you can pick it up from here and start adding this to the picture, adding that, and kind of make your brand grow in front of them. You know, kind of grow your brand in front of people. You know, show up. Now you're showing up looking nice. Now you're showing up with the lights. Now you're showing up with the smoke, and you're showing up with a stage presence. Now people are like, that's the big dude right there. When he come, he gonna bring the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people have their own understanding of how they want to do it. And so what happened to me was I was listening to the music, and I'm coming from jazz to hip hop to R&B. I'm produced with a lot of R&B artists, produced with a lot of gospel artists, and I'm listening to the pattern of the music.
Right.
It's not like they went to Harvard to get this music. This music is just basic. I learned Southern soul music in elementary. Better that way. It was elementary school style music to me, but they was just singing different songs over that dun 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 dun. I call it the 1-5-1 scale because you go from the 1, then you go to the 5, or you go to the 4, and then you come back to the 1, which is the beginning of the scales. Yeah. And all of it does, all the music in Southern soul does that scale. Some of them got a little variation. They might go 1 to the 8, but they're gonna go back to that 8. They're gonna go back to that 1. You know what I'm saying? You know what a 1 is. It's like It's like looking at, if you ever watched that James Brown movie, he said, man, you gotta keep it on the one. You gotta keep it on, and you gotta know what that one is. If you don't know what that one is, so this music is brought up on that premises that you gotta know what a one is. You can do the 1-5 or the 1-4 or the 1-3 and the 1-7, but you better make it back to one.
Okay.
I'm explaining music just like that. You got to make it back to the one. So it's not hard for me to make that music. So when I got in it, I said, well, I got some songs. I wrote the song called To the Boot. I wrote it for Mr. Live. He passed on it. Okay. So I gave it to another artist that's out there. His name is, he's out in South Carolina. Y'all might have heard of him. Damn. He online all the time. I forgot his name. But he did the song To the Boot with me. I actually recorded the song with him. And then when I went back to put Ciddy Jones on the song, I asked him, did y'all get along? Did you get along with Ciddy Jones? He's like, nah, I don't get along with Ciddy Jones. So he can't be on the song with Ciddy Jones. I done paid Ciddy Jones to get on the song. I'm executive thinking. I'm like, I got this guy. He in South Carolina. I'm gonna put Ciddy Jones on the song. I'm trying to sit back and let the people enjoy the music. Right. But since him and Ciddy Jones had a falling out, I said, well, look, and he passed on the song. Nobody didn't want. I just really did the song too. And I had demoed the song anyway, so I just kind of went back, brushed it up, made it into music. I said, I need a name. Ciddy Boi. I'm a city boy, but I got country boy. I got country boy family, but I'm a city boy. You know how everybody you raised around is from the country, but I'm that one dude in the city. I can't see. I'm not fit to go no trail riding, no horses, no trucks, none of that. I'm gonna show up in a Maserati, a Porsche. I'm gonna show up with the the roof back. I'm gonna show up with some white tennis shoes on. You know you can't go out there on the way, but I'm gonna show up with some white tennis shoes. I'm gonna be looking like a nigga that don't know nothing about. I'm gonna be from the city. Right. So I say that's me. That's really me, because I done been to a couple of trail rides. I'm not going out there with no big old truck with no 15 feet tires on that shit. No, I'm gonna get in my motherfucking car. I'm gonna ride over to the thing. I'm gonna enjoy myself, and I'm gonna ride on out. I ain't going deep in that shit. I'm gonna stay in the front. You know what I'm saying? Walk to the back and walk back and get in my car. And you know what I'm saying? I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get stuck in no mud. I ain't trying to get my car dirty. I'm gonna park on the green grass. All that. That's city boy shit. I ain't like dirty. That's it. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Go on about my business. So I picked the name because it fit me. Because I can bring that out, because I feel like I'm a city boy and I hang out with a lot of country dudes. You know what I'm saying? These singers be on stage. Excuse me for saying this, but they look like they truck drivers to me. I'm coming out there in outfits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dressed, and they out there looking like a truck driver. Like, damn, that's the singer. So, I said, well, let me call myself Ciddy Boi P, put this music out. Right. And since I sit in the studio all day long and I don't do nothing but create, I just went on and said, well, Ciddy Boi need more music. So I just did a bunch of songs. I'm talking about every song that you hear from me is freestyle. I did it on the spot. I mixed it. I mastered it. I did it in 5 minutes. I might have sent it over to, I know y'all know Big Yayo. I got a song with Big Yayo. And I got a song with P2K. And I asked them on a song with them. I asked them what they charge. I sent them their money. They sent me their vocals. I'm happy. I just went on it because I wanted to get in and make sure that I have at least somebody I like. And I've been running across P2K and Big Yayo everywhere I go. I like them. Big Yayo. I like him. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him to be on one of my songs with me. He said, shot me the price. I shot it back to him. Say, man, get on this. Called Otis. But we're gonna start with the To the Boot, because I did that song with Ciddy Jones. Same thing with Ciddy Jones. He's an entertainer to me. He's entertaining, and I like it. So I asked him to get on the song. He just sent the song. Whatever you got to do, do what you got to do. I did that, and he got on the song. That was my second song. That was my first song. I mean, then my second song was Otis, which is, I explain Otis when we get to it. But I did To the Boot first.
Ain't nobody
I'm going to tell you why I did Otis. Yeah, it's a meaning behind that song. The reason why I made that song.
Well, here we go. We got Two the Boot right here. We get ready to play it on Real to Real 360, y'all. This is Ciddy Boi P.
Thank you.
There you go.
Hey, Ciddy Boi music. And all you fine and sexy ladies on the floor, go ahead and toot the boot. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Looking good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Shaking real good now. Go ahead and toot the boot.
Toot the boot.
Toot, toot. Looking good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Looking good now. Lord have mercy. Good God. Look good in that thing to me. Yes, you do. Good God Almighty. Good God. That's a fine thing looking at me. See you shaking it. You're shaking it. Round and around. All around. I see you breaking it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Make it touch the ground. Make it touch the ground. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Looking good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Shake it real good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Looking good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Let me go, Ciddy Joe.
Don't mess with mine toot. Yes, I said mine toot. Come on. Well, she was raised in a boo-boo. She like the way I'm boo-scoop. Yes, she do. She be wearing them Daisy Dukes. Hey, turn around and make it toot. Toot it up now. In the woods and hear a sound. She took it all off and touched the ground.
Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Looking good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Shake it real good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Looking good now. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Looking good now. I see you working it. Working it. Like sundress Sunday.
Come on.
I see you shaking it. Back it up now. You ain't worried about Monday. No work. She got making me work
Yes,
it
she
out
do.
all night long. All night long. Come and do your thing. Do your thing. DJ play your favorite song.
Come on.
Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. I see you, girl. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Yes, Lord. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Yeah. Toot, toot. Get it, girl. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. I see you, girl. Go ahead and toot the boot. I love it when you toot, toot. All right. Go ahead and toot the boot. Toot the boot. Toot, toot. Shake it real good now. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Toot the Boot.
Yeah.
That's it right there. That's Toot the
That's some
Boot by Ciddy Boi P.
Yeah, I know that's some country shit right there, ain't it?
Well, hey, man. Hey,
Toot the boot.
I tell you, you know, it's funny. You know, when you was talking about Hayabusa, and my folks is from Winona, Kilmichael. in
Yeah,
Mississippi.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, I know
saying?
that.
In that Greenwood
I know
area.
that.
So you know, shout out to WGNL that gets you through on Saturdays.
Yes, sir.
You know,
That song kind of came out of. Actually, if you listen to the song, really, I'm gonna give y'all some insight on the song. The song I was really listening to that "Toot That Booty," toot that booty. It's a rap song.
Mhm.
I said I'm gonna turn that into some old country ass toot toot. And then Gina Jones got on there and did "Don't Mess with My Toot Toot," which is an old song. That's an old song. Don't mess with my toot toot. And I loved it when he did that. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think of that. But I was on Black Youth got the song called "Toot That Booty," toot that booty, toot toot, like that, right? And I was like, I'm gonna turn that into a song. So I did. So I turned it into a country song and just let the New Orleans side come out of me. And I ain't want to keep it city. I let that New Orleans swag, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let it come out. Okay.
So how much is bounce music that comes out of New Orleans influences your music as well?
A lot, all of it. Like literally all of it. I mean, because I work with a lot of New Orleans artists out there. So I work with
TK Soul.
goddamn Miss T. I work with Miss T from out there, and I work with God damn it, That boy, he died just recently. And that was my boy too. Lord have mercy. Forgive me for that. Fifth Ward Weeby. I'm sorry, Fifth Ward Weeby. And again, working with them, I had to get into the culture because they don't make none of these cities make city music just because they want to make city music. Only city I can say to make music just to be making music is Atlanta because everybody's from somewhere else making music there. So, but when you go to New Orleans, you got to know New Orleans everything. You got to know their food. You got to know their slang. You got to know what they go for. That's why Master P was so big because he knew what they was gonna go for. It was like serving them they Cajun rice and they shrimps with that Cajun rub on it, with all that stuff on it. He knew what to give them people. So, and he let us taste it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to work with. You got to kind of. It influenced me a lot. To be honest with you, I'm influenced by it a lot. I ain't go music.
You got DC influence in it.
Yeah. A lot of go-go music can go down south too, but it just don't. But I don't know why, but it should. If there, in my opinion.
Now, your writing, your penmanship when it comes to lyrically writing for not just for yourself but with others. How long have you been writing as far as yours, and who are some of the artists that you help write for or ghost for?
I've been writing since day one. Little known fact, I wanted to be an R&B singer. I was writing songs in my room, and then the singer came out. His name was Joe. His first album, if you go back and listen to it, it sounded like he knew my lyrics. I'm sitting here listening to his songs, and he was like, he had already written music already out, and then he can really sing.
Oh,
and I was like, yeah. So Joe, his name Joe.
Oh yeah,
so,
Joe Thomas, Alabama.
Yeah. So that boy was off the cherry. So when I heard him first album, I've been listening to Joseph's first album.
Yep.
And I saw how he was doing it, but our penmanship was sort of the same. I felt like he had a better grasp on it because he had to deal, of course. Nobody didn't know me. I was a little boy, just came home from the military, and I ain't know where to start. I just was in my room making, but we was writing the same type of lyrics. So I said, I got something, but let me just stick on the producer side because he actually singing. I don't sing like that. I can sing, but I don't sing like that. So I stepped away from trying to be an artist at that time. Joe has made me stop wanting to be an artist, but stay with the production. So I kept writing for people. And some of the people I wrote for 112, I wrote some records with them, wrote some records with Jagged Edge, Kathy Burrell. I had so many. Cha-Cha out of Detroit. And I did some never heard records. I mean, with records, I've done some records with big artists, but you never heard them. And I wrote some lyrics for them. Emery. I did a lot of writing. So, but I don't actually put a pen to the pad. Like that song you heard, "Toot the Boot," was all freestyle. I just freestyle. You know what I'm saying? I just know what I want to say, and I just say it. I don't second guess my thought pattern. And so I think if I'm in the studio a lot, so for me to come up with some lyrics, write it down, then get on the mic and then recite the back, that's too much. I might as well just pull the mic right here and just do what I'm gonna say and then put it back. And if it don't make sense, I just change it. You know what I'm saying? So I've been actually doing that for a while. And so now I'm fluent, I'm very fluent with words, I'm very fluent with phrases, and I'm keep my ear to the street to what's going on and who's popping. Just keep going.
What was the first song that you ever produced?
First song?
The artist? The first song and first artist you ever produced for.
Wow, that's a good question. First artist? Man, local or just whatever, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's a good question. So, Big T. Well, no, that's not my first, but he wasn't my first, but it was so many. Chad Jones, Mr. Willie. I don't know if you heard of Mr. Willie. He's in the Southern Soul right now. I produced with him. I produced with him for years. And then we did man, he was on the road. We worked with Myron, which is who is Avant. I don't know. When you say back, go back now. Now, what's so crazy is I got my hard drive from 2002. I actually got my hard drive from 2002 when I started making beats, all the way back from then. But I can't tell you the first person. I think reason why, because I was focused on trying to be good at making music, right? Sometimes you just kind of do it and then go to the next thing. Do it, go to the next thing. So, but yeah, I don't work with a lot of artists, but my first one, I can't put my finger on it right now. Forgive me, anybody, if you're watching, you know who you are. I apologize. I'm old now, shit. I've been doing this 22 years old. I can't remember. A bunch of rappers, though. A bunch of rappers.
I know that we had a conversation about like your relationship with like Willie D and wanted to touch on that basis of how that group helped push hip hop, you know what I'm saying, out of Houston, because they was one of the first groups out of Houston to actually be heard elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Texas. And like I told you before, Read These Nikes was my joint. You know what I mean? Fifth Ward Boys, PWA.
So little known fact, the first actual Ghetto Boys were from New York.
Really?
Did you know the actual jukebox was from New York? DJ Red. Huh?
There was about 5 of them, wasn't it?
It was three. But they were from New York. They wasn't from Houston.
No.
Bushwick Bill is from Flatbush, New York.
Yeah, I know Bushwick Bill was from New York.
Yeah, Bushwick from New York. DJ Red is from New York.
Oh, wow.
And Jukebox is from New York. That's the first Ghetto Boys.
Okay.
Look at the album. You'll see everybody on there except for somebody from Houston. Ain't nobody from Houston on that first Ghetto Boys album. And then they put Scarface in there. Then when Scarface came, they put his name was DJ Action.
Action.
Right. Action. Yeah.
Yeah, DJ Action was DJ. We used to call him DJ Action. And then he went to Scarface. That's when he dropped that. My name is Scarface. Then he dropped that, and it was gone from there.
Yeah, that's hard.
And then Willie D was his own artist. Willie D wasn't in the Ghetto Boys. Willie D was his own artist. And then he came in and got into the Ghetto Boys. And then it was Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick Bill. They kept the look going. The short man with the 2 big guys. Right. But if you go back and look at the actual photos, you'll see that none of them was on the first album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we New York heavily influenced us. But we still had our own little twang. We have a way of talking. We have a way of doing things. So it was almost like the NWA story. NWA, the first group that was in NWA was from New York. They wasn't from LA. They was from New York.
Yeah,
New York had it on lock. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to not say New York. You know, they came down here, and when they came down here, they was breaking ground. So you know, that's what it was. So yeah.
So how do you see that the music has transitioned in Houston? Do you think that it's done got better, and the artists that's coming out of Houston is pulling each other up, or how you feel about that?
The music has gotten better, but us pulling each other up has not gotten better. And I say that because none of our millionaire artists that are making money right now have a business in Houston. I don't know what it is about Houston, but it's the best place to live. If I show you my house right now, you wouldn't believe I have all this house by doing music. You know what I'm saying? My house is huge. And my house is 250 and I got over 4,000 square feet. That you can't, where you buying that at? You get what I'm saying? And I'm not bragging. I'm just giving you what I'm saying. I'm trying to make some flow here so you can understand where I'm coming. Why would you want to go somewhere else if you can buy 4,000 square with the pool. If I buy 4,000 for 250, what you think you can buy with 400 or 500,000? Okay, and then that means the real estate is cheap out here. So you can go get some. You can go buy a whole 10 building and turn it into a movie theater, and be good. But they don't. People don't think. We always go to LA. We're gonna pay them high ass LA prices. Then we're gonna go to Atlanta with all them gay ass people out there. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I can't stand them gay motherfuckers. I'm sorry. It's just all that. Let them have that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to get the show man or nothing like that. But it is what it is. Bruh, I went to Atlanta. I don't know how people do it. That's another story. That's another story. Being a heterosexual man in Atlanta is a job. I'm gonna say that. I'm leaving alone. Okay, it's a job.
Well, you know, I got to talk about when we first met in Fayetteville, and man, it was. I still got the pictures on my phone, man. It was something about you that just clicked as far as a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then when I watched you perform, it was even better, man, because I was like, all right, I got him. But man, hey, yeah, he came out there smoking. It was like watching Slim in the movie. He had on the joke. Hey, he was clean to the team, man. Then they start playing his jams, and he getting it. He's singing. The ladies are like, "Ah!" I said, yeah, they got him. And he go right over. He kept going over to this one section, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that, though.
Hey, that's where they was at. Look, if you got me, you give me the eye contact, I'm going over there. I can't look. I'm trying to keep people engaged with me. You know what I'm saying? I wore my Carolina blue and my Carolina white. I was out there. I was for the city that day.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed myself too. I had fun out there. Yeah, I appreciate you remembering that too, because I had fun out there. I wish I could see that show too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sabrina or somebody else have it on, because I end up getting the pictures and some of the videos of the show because I missed it. We ain't gonna talk about. You know what I mean? How he was pop locking in there. But
it's getting close to the timeline, so
we ain't gonna discuss that.
We ain't gonna put it.
But like I said, it's phenomenal that being the fact that in your lifetime you have worked with some of the great artists in the business.
Yes. And yes.
When you look back over, you know what I'm saying, your work and your career, what do you think was like the pivotal, like the greatest point of your career, or who was the artist that you was like, yo, I wanted to work with this one. This one right here is the one that, you know what I'm saying, I always wanted to work with.
Well, a lot of artists that I want to work with died. Biggie was one of them. But I learned my biggest pivotal moment is when I learned that success doesn't always have a light on it. Because I was living like every other producer out there, doing the same thing, except a lot of people knew me or didn't know me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that when the light came on, that success is just the way people look at it. But if I've been able to pay my bills by doing music, I think I was very successful. So that pivotal moment, I woke up and I said, and it just came to me like, yo, you ain't got to be known like everybody. I'm still driving high cars. I'm still I'm still doing everything everybody else doing. I probably have the same life that Timbaland had. I don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still going. Right. So I think it wasn't an individual artist, but if I wanted to work with an artist, it was Biggie, because he a Gemini, I'm a Gemini. I kind of clicked with his understanding, and yeah. That's what I think that's what it is. But I just realized like I ain't worked in. I gotta understand. I'm 55. I haven't worked in 27, 30 years. Never had a job. All I've done is hit these keys, and I made a life out of it. And I paid for estates, and I bought things, and I, cash. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm still learning the money game because I'm just not learning at my age that white people spend credit and we spend money. And I bought everything I want, and shit. When I hear some of the lyrics in some of these songs, I'm like, "Yep, I did that. Yep, I did that. Yep, I did that." You know what I'm saying? So I think that I really why I can be so uplifted by it now. It's because I've done everything everybody else is doing. It just wasn't it wasn't on TMZ. It wasn't in the news, but I lived that life. You know what I'm saying? I'm still living that way. You know what I'm saying? I haven't got a job yet. You know what I'm saying?
Now the question is, coming from the military, did you have in your mind that you wanted to just work in music? Because like you said, you never had a job. So it was just going to be music or bust for you?
And yes, it is. You know who said that, what you just said? And made me realize that's what it's got to be? Guess who said that?
Who?
Busta Rhymes.
I've heard Eddie Murphy say it. I've heard a couple of people say.
I heard Busta Rhymes say exactly the way you said. Hey, man, it's either music or die. And he and now take this. I done visited from New York a couple of times. He didn't tell me personally. He said it on an interview. I went to New York and people was willing to rap to me for me to take them back to Houston. They were willing to rap against this guy, that guy. Say, man, you take me back to Houston with you. I saw the hunger. I was like, man, I'm talking about right in front of Apollo. I'm just a producer. And they were like, man, look here, I'm going to rap you in front of your rapper that you got up here right now. If I'm better than him, you taking me with you. Like, that's, and they proceeded, you know what I'm saying? But when I heard Busta Rhymes say it's either rap or die, he said rap or die. And I'm in Houston where we can go get a job. See, I'm in a nice economy. Houston been nice for years. You can go buy a house. Look, this is the only place you could have came in '92, worked at McDonald's and bought 3,000 square foot house. Worked at McDonald's. This Houston. So you get kind of lax because you can go get your car. You can go get a job, buy your car. Cars ain't expensive. Gas ain't expensive. We just not saying $4. Man, gas was 89 cents for long. So, down here in Houston, we got too much cushion. It's too much. Oh, I'm gonna go get a job and then try to do music. But I told myself, it's either gonna do music or I'm gonna die. I said exactly what he said. I'm gonna either do music or die. I don't want to work with white folks. I'm sorry. Don't mean to put no thing on your show. But don't like white folks, I don't want to work for them. No more. I did the service, that was enough. I'm done. Don't want to work for them no more. You know what I'm saying? I own my own business. Man, I had almost a 7,000 square foot studio. I had like 4 rooms in that motherfucker. And it was only $400 a month. You get what I'm saying? Like, Houston was like a bed. Just if you came out here with a business mind, you can live. If you come out here with a mind, you're gonna work for somebody. You're gonna get caught up in the last remnants of slavery to me, because they ain't gonna take you. So that's what I did. I just told myself, it's either gonna make this music or that. That's it. I have no music. I have no business plan. I just opened up the doors and said I had a studio. I opened up the studio, I didn't even have no equipment. And I'm survived. I survived it. So let you know that the type of people that was believing in you, oh, you the studio, okay, hey man, you buy this keyboard, you buy this, and you buy that, I can make your beats. They go buy it, I make the beats. That was my payment. So now I gotta charge the next people to make beats for them. And that's how I got started. No drugs, no nothing. That was it. So, That's the life of living coming from the South down here. Coming from down here, New Orleans ain't no different. And what's the other city? New Orleans ain't no different than us. Really, we the same people. New Orleans, Lake Charles, Beaumont, all of them had that same. Everybody had that. Like I told you, they got the same mentality that goes on. You know what I'm saying? So, me going from the service, I've been in LA. I've seen people out there making beats and making music and living. When I came to Houston, none of that. So I just told myself, I'm either gonna make music or die. And 20-something years later, with a whole grown child that's driving trucks now, and later, I'm still doing the same thing I've been doing. Still doing the same thing. So yeah, sometimes words be hitting people. People don't know that, but look up. Busta Rhymes said that. It was either rap or die.
Yeah, that's Taheem from Uniondale out there in Long Island too, even though he claimed Brooklyn, but it's Long Island.
Yeah. Yeah,
but you know,
that's amazing though.
How do you feel like when artists feel like they have to leave Texas to go to California or go to New York to make it, when you have so many people in Texas where you can go double, triple platinum just in Texas alone, just from your tapes?
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And that's probably why I'm a producer here in Houston and nobody never heard of me, because I refuse to leave Houston to try to go somewhere to make my name known when everybody hears their music too. I'm a big fish in a small pond.
Right.
Or a big fish in a big pond. Yeah, I'm just the only one. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna stay out here because when people need beats, they're gonna call me. So I don't understand them leaving. Well, I do understand having to leave because my business has opened up to on the road, going to South Carolina, doing shows in North Carolina. But as an artist, I understand it. I had my music done. I didn't have to go to Atlanta to get my music done. My music was done at my house. I was done. Hey, you want to book me? Where you at? I'm coming. You feel me? So I get that part. But getting it done, going to Atlanta, it just, to me, it's just like I want to be around everybody that's doing something game. And you know, you waste more money, you waste more time, you get in more shit, more people, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't for you. Because you know, this is a competitive game, so other producers ain't gonna let you get in the studio with the main person, because if they got a one up on you, they're not gonna let you get that one up on them.
Right.
So I'm not that type of person. I like to work with people. So I don't try to X my brother out to try to work with Mary J. Blige. I'll be like, nigga, you want to work with me? Come on. Because Mary J. Blige is a person. So when we get in the studio, we start working. I leave, but I witnessed this here, going to the studio in LA with an artist that's from Houston. As soon as I leave the room, he talks shit about me behind my back. He talk. And then when I come back in the room, everybody looking at me like this. I'm like, well, damn, I was just good a minute ago. What happened? And years later, I found out they ain't gonna tell you nothing today. That's what I hate about this industry. It's so fake. They ain't gonna tell you. Well, he just said, nigga, you ran off with. Wait a minute. You ain't gonna tell me what he said about me? So I can at least punch him in the face when I leave or something? He ain't gonna tell me nothing. Y'all just gonna let me sit there with egg on my face and just let you just. And then everybody started turning their backs on you, giving you the cold shoulder, and not letting you. Tomorrow we ain't gonna be here tomorrow. They tell you ain't gonna be at the studio tomorrow. The next day they gonna sit there. You say you gonna be here today? What? Oh, they can't talk to you because of what somebody else said. If I'd have beaten him to the punch, I would have been that person. Yeah, it's a big producer. It ain't Greg Curtis. I'm gonna just tell you.
Well, Ciddy Boi P, we don't buy time. And we got to bring you back because you got these Houston stories that we got to tap back into. But we definitely have ran out of time, and we appreciate you coming in. Could you let the people know how they can get in touch with you if they need beats, if they want the music, your merch, whatever you have, your website, so they can get in touch with Ciddy Boi P.
All right, if you're from the Bayou cities, I got shirts called Bayou Classy Lady, shirts for the women. You can catch me on at Track House on Instagram. I'm gonna change it up. I got a Ciddy Boi Instagram, but check both of them. Ciddy Boi Rodriguez is on Instagram, but go both of them. Track House at on Instagram and Ciddy Boi at Instagram. I got both of them. And check me out on YouTube. Leave a comment. It'll hit me, and I'll get back with you. You can do that. And just call me 832-322-5314. Goddamn. Shit, call. Just hit me on the phone. Let's make it easy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I ain't getting them with 10, 15 years. I ain't telling you
what it is, God, man. It's time for us to get up out of here, man.
Yeah, true indeed, true indeed. Ciddy, if you can hang around maybe in the backstage for about maybe 2-3 minutes before we sign off, as far as fully, we're gonna holler at you in a minute. So just stand by.
I got you, bro. I appreciate y'all being on the show, man.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, true enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard one another dopest episodes we had. I had fun, and looking on the face of my brother, I know he had fun. And wait a minute, before we go, what was the name of that city again in Mississippi? What's it called? Hayabusa.
Hayabusa. I don't know.
Shout out to that part of Mississippi, y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this is DJ KYs, aka Kato the Black Superhero, on behalf of my co-host, the most, my brother in God. I love you to death, baby. Dashamel Allah, aka Mr. PhD, and our special guest, Ciddy Boi. I give you a high salute. The open invitation for you to come back is indefinite. This is your home. You got a home here. And if you got some up and coming artists and some people that you feel that they want to, we can get them and showcase them, let's do it.
I got you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know the deal. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning into our show. And we hope you had a good time just as much as we have. And we do. So tune in next time. In the meantime, in between time, this is DJ KYs, and I say peace be unto you. And we're going to rock out like this with the outro, as we always do. Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation of gods and earth, to all the human families on the planet Earth.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to come to the end of the show. Right now, I want to take the time out and thank our guests for coming on. Also, too, I want to make sure that y'all listening and subscribing, and tell a friend and keep sharing, because we're going to keep bringing y'all the real content. You know what I mean? So, DJ KY, my brother, take us up out of here, son. Hey.
I want to give a big shout out to the nation of gods and earth, to all the human families on the planet Earth. I say peace. But you are subscribers, those who continue to watch and listen to the show each and every time we come on. I give a big shout out to love, peace, and happiness. To be the man, woman, and child of the you and I first. It's time for us to disperse. We bring the best, not the worst. We thank you once again for tuning in to the real 360. Bring a friend and hit that like and subscribe, so we continue to grow to bring more knowledge and wisdom to you. Upon our show, you make it possible for us to do what we do. Now it's time I end it.